Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Pikel with League of Items, and my camera's a little dark. So let me turn on the light. Last night we had V5 against Rogue Warriors. V5 was a pretty big favorite. We had T1 beat Solhewan Prince as the favorites, and then we had Damwon Gaming beat Genji as the favorites. The only upset of the night was BLG against RNG, so I'm going to go through those pick bans real fast. So I'll turn off the camera. As I said in my global rankings video, I had these two teams ranked within a tier of each other, which means I'm not going to be shocked if there's an upset. And there was an upset. It doesn't mean that I picked the upset. I'm just saying, like, when two teams that are relatively close have a close match, that is the outcome that we should expect. So let's go into the pick ban phase. So we have Caitlyn as the first pick overall. Aphelios wasn't banned. Ezreal wasn't banned out. So it's a little not surprising at this point, like teams like Caitlyn. But there are a lot of ways to kind of deal with Caitlyn. So I don't know why it's so popular right now. I can't really make sense of it because the buff was so small. But it's more of a playstyle thing, so I guess they think that... It's like, I guess the way that you can look at it is the buffs gave people a reason to try her again, and when they tried her out in this current meta, where it's so focused on early game and getting a dragon advantage, maybe they feel like she operates really well within this meta specifically. It's whatever. I'm not going to spend any more time talking about that. So Caitlyn against Ashe, that's fine. Bard getting picked is good for BLG. I think Bard's one of the best champions in the game still. They pick up Lilia, which is a unique pick. Not unique pick. An unlikely pick for a lot of teams because she's a little more new and she's powerful, but she's not a true carry out of the jungle. She actually does remind me of Bard and Zoe in the fact that she has like some long range engage tools and she's pretty unique. So that's basically that. Jarvan and Nautilus. We don't see a lot of Jarvan nowadays, but Jarvan's a very good champion in my opinion for the role that he can play within a team. His ultimate's very impactful, especially against immobile AD carries. So Jarvan would actually be better going against Ashe or somebody like Aphelios than Caitlyn, because Caitlyn can net out of his ultimate, I believe. But he also gives attack speed to Ashe, which is beneficial. And that's why I think Jarvan's probably underutilized right now, because his E gives attack speed to everybody on his team. So if you had Jarvan and then like one or two other auto attackers on your team, you get a lot of additional value, and you can take neutral objectives pretty easily as well. So then we have Camille as a blind pick. So we're seeing blind Camille again, and we have blind Syndra, which is an okay pick. Then we have Akali come in as a counter to Syndra. Not really a hard counter, so it's fine. But then RNG picks Ornn into Camille, and I think that's a pretty gigantic mistake. So based off of this draft, I don't know. I think that they're both pretty good. Caitlyn is a contested pick, so I guess you kind of have to like that from BLG. They have Bard, which is a very good champion in my opinion. They have Akali as a counter pick, so she gets additional value. They have Camille as a counter pick, even though they picked it first. And then they have Lilia, and Lilia is a strong champion. I just think a lot of teams aren't familiar with her, which gives her like an additional little bonus in my mind. Because it's more difficult to play against if you don't know exactly how they're going to operate on the professional stage. Then I think they got 2-0'd, right? Yeah, it looks like it. Alright, so let's go back into the pick ban phase. Also, shout out to the guy that left a comment saying that J and L do 10-second increments instead of 5-second increments. Big help. But so, okay, we have BLG. They ban out Renekton, Nidalee, TF. RNG bans out Lilia, Set, and Zoe. Is that the lock-in? Alright, so they picked Gangplank. So we have Volibear as the first overall pick. Most of the time, Volibear is going to be the jungler, but in this situation, they actually did use Volibear as a flex pick. And they picked Sylas to go into the jungle, which is not something that we see very often. Also, I'm not sure how I feel about the Sylas pick overall. Like, Stealing Karma's ultimate, I think, is pretty bad. Stealing Olaf's ultimate is okay, but not great. I guess it could be good. Because it just gives Sylas a little bit more mobility and, like, doesn't have to worry about getting locked down in a team fight. And against Ashe, I guess it is kind of good because you don't have to worry about getting hit with Crystal Arrow or the slows from the W. Or any of the slows, for that matter. So I guess it does kind of make sense. And then the fact that RNG locked in Gangplank after Sylas was picked is kind of surprising because that's a really good ultimate for Sylas to grab, especially when they have a Bard on their team. Bard, Volibear, Ezreal, Azir, pretty normal picks. RNG's team composition was okay too. Not a huge win on either side for the pick ban phase. Gangplank should be able to beat Volibear unless he gets hard dominated in lane. So let's see when this game gets out of hand. Wow, RNG was winning. How do they lose this game? Aha. So it's a big extended team fight that kind of just goes wrong. That's surprising. So it's basically a Baron throw. They came off of Baron to try and fight and just died. So they died, gave up the Baron. With that, they give up their gold lead. And then BLG just ends the game there instead of waiting. Or I guess did they wait for Dragon Soul? Yeah, so then the game just got sloppy. So I don't really have much to say about that match. Let's see what we can do tomorrow. So we have Sunning against Vici. Oh, Sunning against Vici. Sunning is the favorite. They should be the favorite. Vici Gaming is a live dog. Now that the playoffs are locked in, Sunning is officially in the playoffs. They would only be playing for seeding. I'm not sure what the implications are for their seed, depending on a win or a loss. I think they have another match against FPX as well. So I guess we could look at that. So we have Sunning against Vici, and on the last day we have Sunning against FPX. So Sunning could get past V5 into the 4 slot if they win both of these matches. Maybe even if they only win one, because they might have the tiebreaker over V5. And then JDG against OMG, I mean, that one's pretty obvious, but the way that games have been going recently, maybe OMG pulls off the upset. I doubt it, though. A Freak of Freaks against Team Dynamics. I think Team Dynamics are a live dog against the Freak of Freaks. And then KT Rolster against Hanma Life. I think Hanma Life is a live dog tonight as well. So I'm more interested in the underdogs from... Actually, I'm interested in 3 of these underdogs, really. So I guess this would be an okay night to mass multi-enter if you want to get those low ownerships. You can even do some double dog lineups. That's basically it for me. I've got some other work I have to get done today, so it's going to be a short video. I'm also going to make a video with Billy about the NBA. That should be up before lock, so make sure if you're playing NBA you look out for that. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you later.